What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I'll be doing a technical analysis breakdown for the trade desk with the ticker symbol TTD. This was a viewer's request, and thank you for your donation. Remember that if you want a chart analysis guaranteed to be done, please read the description below. Before we begin, please take a second to give the video a like and subscribe for more chart analysis. I appreciate all those who have already subscribed and liked my videos. Just a reminder that this video is for entertainment purposes only, does not constitute any financial advice. I will first go over what I see on the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. So it looks like the trade desk sold off quite a lot ever since it made that all-time high, especially after there was two legs up already. You can see that this was the first leg up, and then there was a correction in between, and then this was the second leg up. You can see the target was right at that $107 level, and that's where prices started to stall out. Let me show you guys another measured move. Well, that was the only one I see actually. You can see it started to stall out that 106, 107 level. Pretty much price made, looks like a little double top, but actually it's a lower high. You can see that prices made the lower high, and that signaled a reversal. Prices start selling off, and we have been going down ever since. You can see the drop is about 50%, and it recovered quite a lot because the market is pretty much oversold, and I was expecting a pullback throughout all the stocks on the market. However, is this the bottom, or are we going to see lower prices? Well, this stock is a little hard to analyze just because there's bullish and bearish signs, so I'll go over both cases. So you can see that this was support, and that's why we're getting a bounce. This is where people normally buy the stock, and that's why we can keep on seeing bounces at this price level. So because previously people bought here, people bought here, people bought a lot here because it was lower than the previous levels, and it was a failed breakout. This failed breakout led to a failed breakout on this opposite side, and then prices came back inside of this range. You can see that most of these price bars are just moving up and down, and we were at the bottom side of the range. People thought this was a good opportunity to buy the dip, and we were at support, and looks like we did pull back to fill in this little gap, and it looks like we're pulling back to the EMA. So the bullish signs are that we are at support and we're pulling back. It looks like if we do break above the $68 level, if we do break above it and pull back and find some type of support, there's a high probability we will just continue higher to the upper side of the range. However, I'm leaning more towards the bearish side just because that's the market sentiment, and this is just a minor pullback. We could see lower prices, especially since it looks like we did not get a retest. We did not get a breakout side of this downtrend channel yet. So you can see that this downtrend channel is in play and is holding prices decent. Let's go ahead and make this yellow. Let me adjust it a little better right here. Drag it down. So you can see this yellow downtrend channel is in play. We just bounced from the support side and we're moving to the resistance side. So we are entering resistance territory because previously prices were being supported by the $68 level. $68, $69, $70 level. Doesn't have to be exact. And now we're coming back into previous support, which could turn into resistance. And we're pretty close to the EMA, and we're pretty much right near this trend line resistance. So right over here is a crucial point. So are we going to break above it and continue to trend higher like I showed you for the bullish case, or are we going to continue to pull back and drop lower in the market? So I think I'm leaning more towards that side just because I don't think any stock has bottomed yet. I'm expecting another leg down in the market, so I think this stock can do the same as well. So we could find resistance here and continue lower to make a new low. So that's what I'm predicting, but I'm just letting you know if prices do continue higher from here, that's most likely what we're gonna do. We're just gonna continue higher all the way up to the $100 level. But if we find resistance, I'm thinking we're gonna stop this person out that went long right here. Let me zoom out on the chart, show you guys if I see anything else. Yeah, so that's pretty much it on the daily chart. So most of the time this company was range bound since late 2020. Had a failed breakout on both sides because the market is symmetrical. We had two legs up. That's where pretty much people started taking the profit, right? This $107 level. It was a failed breakout. So there's a lot of signs that the market was going to reverse instead of continuing higher. There's also a gap right here that could have been filled. So market came back inside the range, fill in this gap. We continue lower to the lower side of the range, and now we're seeing a little two-legged pullback. Let me go and erase the drawings. So this is normally what you would see in a trend. You see pullback. So this was the first leg up, and this was the second leg up, and that's pretty much exactly where we went today. We went right at that $69 level. So we already made 2 legs up, and you know how I showed you the measured move, like right over here. We had the first leg up, and then we had a correction, and then we made the second leg up, and that's where right where prices start to stall out. So we could do the same thing here, but on a smaller scale. So we could have 2 legs up and then a continuation for the trend. So that's what I could be seeing. You can see that previously before, even though prices pull back to previous support, you can see this trend line or this horizontal line was acting as support for quite a while, and then prices broke below it, pulled back, and found resistance. So the previous support turned into resistance and then dropped prices lower. Same thing could happen here. So you can see that this was support for a long time. This is support. People were buying here. We had a failed breakout here. We dropped down here, and then you don't want to be selling into support. And you can see that the earnings was just a cover up to stop out all the people who went short. So you can see that massive move up, just a stop loss hit, and people who try to sell the bottom or try to play a breakout into support got stopped out and market reversed. And then now we are at support again. So you can see that this horizontal line was acting as support, just like this one. Prices broke below it, just like here, and they pulled back to it and found resistance, and then we continue lower. So same thing over here. We pull back to the support, found resistance, and we continue lower. So that's why I'm leaning more towards the bearish case playing out than the bullish one. I mean, I was expecting a pullback throughout all the stocks I mentioned, even though I believe they will continue lower in the future. So we could see lower prices. For how low? Well, let's take a look at some measured moves. We already had a measured move play out on the downside, but it was overshot. You can see that was the first leg down, and this was the second leg down, and the target for the trade desk was at the $69 level. But we went past that. So are we going to make another leg down? Usually when we have an overshoot, that means the trend is stronger than we think. So you don't want to be picking a bottom or assuming this is the bottom. So normally when we see a leg down and another leg down, and looks like we can possibly make another leg down, usually the first leg and the third leg are the same size. So if I were to move this over where I believe the trade desk will reverse, possibly at the $73 level, I'm assuming, I think we can get some resistance there. And if we do and we drop down, the target is at the 43.65 level. So that's my analysis for the trade desk. Even though there are some bullish signs on the chart and there is a possibility for it to continue higher, I'm gonna be waiting for the bearish case for playing out, and I'll be sticking with that unless anything changes. So I'm about 65% bearish, 35% bullish on this company. In the long term, it might do really well. You can see the revenue is increasing year over year, and the net income, so it's doing extremely well. It's exceeding expectations for the earnings, so it looks like it's doing very well, and it's not really overvalued. You can see that the market capitalization is 33, and their revenue is close to $1 billion. So it's a little high, the ratio, than I like, but still pretty good. And I'm pretty sure this company is a kind of like an online base, so they have some type of safety there where they don't have any retail stores. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but normally online companies are safer in times like we have since 2020. So I'm pretty sure long-term expectations are going to be good, and I'll show you guys my long-term target on the weekly chart. So let's go and head over there right now. So here's the weekly chart for the trade desk, and see that there was an uptrend in play, and then prices already made a breakout side and 2 legs to a new high, which is what we expect. That's pretty much textbook price action. And you can see that this was the breakout side over here because these price bars are not inside of that channel any longer, which shows signs of weakness. However, that sign of weakness doesn't mean the trend is ending, and usually that leads to 2 legs to a new high. So this was the first leg up, and this was the second leg up. You can see that's pretty much right where prices stalled out and started reversing, and we have been going down ever since it made that new all-time high. But we were oversold. You can see that we were far away from the EMA, and we were at support, so that's why we are receiving this bounce. So this bounce up, I think, is just going to be short-lived. I'm still expecting lower prices, However, there is some strong bullish support. You can see that there was some support there, which led to that bounce. And if there is some type of weak channel also working higher, which fits the price action pretty well too. So there is some, like I said before, there's a bullish and bearish case. Normally when I look at stocks, it's easier to do analysis on trending ones. So anything that's moving in an uptrend is very easy to analyze, or anything moving in a downtrend is very easy to analyze, because we're pretty much going to continue with the trend. Over here, we're kind of inside of a range, so it's harder to predict, and it's even especially harder because we already had a break outside of the uptrend, and we made 2 legs new high. So that's why we're seeing a lot of volatility. You can see that it pretty much prices are going up, down. So buyers and sellers don't really know what to do with the stock. Are we gonna make another massive leg up, or are we just gonna continue lower? So we'll have to see. But obviously in the near term this week, I'm expecting higher prices, probably possibly to the 75, even maybe the low 80s. But from there, I'm still expecting us to make a new low for this move and enter the $40 level. So if we do continue higher from there or here, as long as we don't break below the $46 level, then this long-term target is intact, because this would be the second leg up, and it's right at the $130 level. So that's my long-term target, as long as we don't break that $46 level. Even if we do break it, then the target is just going to continue to drop. So we'll have to see what the price action wants to do. And you can also see there's some type of inverse head and shoulders forming. Let's go and erase all the drawings and just show you the inverse head and shoulders. So this would be a shoulder right here, this would be the head, and then another shoulder. So usually these are reversal patterns. So like I said before, there's bullish and bearish signs on the chart. I'm almost 50-50, but I'm just leaning towards the bearish side just because of market sentiment, and I still believe some downtrends have not been completed throughout the stock market. So that's why I'm still expecting another push down. But in the meantime, or in the short term, I'm expecting a pullback to the high 70s, low 80s, and then from there, I'm still expecting lower prices. So that's all I have for the trade desk. Thank you for stopping by and checking out my video. Make sure to check out the rest of the channel, since you might be surprised at what you can learn. Leave a comment down below on where you think prices are headed. Also share the video if you want your friends to learn about the markets. Lastly, I appreciate any feedback to help improve the channel, since I want to deliver great content to you guys. See you next time, and bye.